Let's look at question 2. This time we will deal with graphs. Which of the following graphs is a function? Again, you may pause here if you like and think a little bit on it before listening to the explanations. Here we will consider using the vertical line test. You can draw as many vertical lines as you wish on the graph, and you will notice that each vertical line does not intersect with the graph beyond one point of the curve. This graph is thus a function with the domain defined on the closed interval -5 to 5. Let's look at the second graph. Again, we draw vertical lines to determine how many points each vertical line would intersect with the curve. Again, we note that each vertical line, the intersection is not more than 1. This fulfills the criteria for a function given this vertical line test. But one must be careful to note that the number 2 here, if included in the domain, does not have any image. Thus, you can consider this as a function provided the domain defined does not include the number 2. How about this graph? Now, a vertical line drawn shows 2 intersections. Not unique. This graph does not represent a function. Let's try a fourth graph. Again, we use the vertical line test. Drawing vertical lines, in fact anywhere on this graph, shows that the lines intersect with the graph at most at one point. This is therefore a function. Remember, intersections at one point with vertical lines reflect the unique elements associated to each element of the domain. Let us look at this graph more carefully. We can see from the graph that its domain is in the interval -5 and 5. So is its codomain and range. This is actually the graph representing the absolute value function defined as follows. When x, i.e. any element of the domain, is greater or equal to 0, the image is simply x. When x is lesser than 0, then the function takes on the value of -x. Take for example x is equal to 2. Then the function value or its image is simply 2. On the other hand, for x is equal to -2, the function value takes on the negative value of -2, which is then 2 as well. We can see from the graph that the image of x equals to -2 is 2.